at you. Good Thursday, everybody. Welcome to BTL Bass Talk Live, where we're going to talk bass fishing and anything else that we want to talk about. Matthew, a rare Thursday show for us.
Well, it was a holiday on Monday. We were both doing, I don't even remember what I did on Monday, but we were both doing fun things. So in order to get the 3 shows a week in, we went Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
What did we kick it off? Edwin Evers. From Shoreline Boat and RV Repair.
Live from Tulsa.
Had the trophies there. Then yesterday, Boyd Duckett, I guess a kind of a postseason State of the Union.
Yeah.
And then today, the newest YouTube sensation.
You're going there already,
The internet star.
I don't think he's at that point yet.
Justin Lucas.
We'll talk to him about the project. And
just posted his first 2 YouTube videos.
What'd you say? He's already got 1,000 subscribers?
Already got 1,224 subscribers, and his 2 videos are Pro Angler Kayak Fishing River with Topwater. Might have to work on that title. Pro Angler Kayak Fishing River with Topwater, and 25-pound bag of giant smallmouth bass, part 1 of 2. He's even got a little clickbait action going on. He's on top of his game for his first 2 videos.
What is the clickbait?
Well, that's where it's like you have like the text across the front picture. You know, usually it says like cops called while fishing or boat wrecks or something like that makes you want to click on it, and then you hope that you get into the algorithm that YouTube likes, and then they put it in the recommended videos, and then the clicks climb to hundreds of thousands, and you get all sorts of subscribers, and then fame and glory follows.
Yeah.
And then favorite fishing and Guggen calls you, and you're good to go.
Is that how it works?
I think that's how it works.
There you have it. Matt's plan for success on YouTube. There you have it. All right. A couple of things happened over the course of this week that I want to mention. First one, bass going to the on-demand format, not via the web, via
Roku or Roku.
I don't know, man. How do you say
Is that one of those like sticks that's got like all the on-demand stuff?
Yeah,
kind of like a Netflix style.
Exactly. And here's the deal: a lot of flat screen TVs now already have it installed.
Absolutely. Just like I can get on the app on the screen at my house and watch ESPN3 and then stream Bassmasters through it, and then I also have the My Outdoor TV subscription to where you can click on the live tab and watch the Bass Pro Tour through it. So it's literally like watching golf on TV.
Yeah. So that is big. And if you recall, Matthew, I think it was 2-3 years ago, I made mention of who was going to be the first one to get on that on-demand platform, be it Roku or Netflix or, there's like 3 or 4, Amazon Prime, and obviously Bass getting it done with on-demand. In the press release that I saw, man, a tremendous amount of content that they're going to have on there.
Like tips, tactics, it's all what they're going to have.
Pretty cool stuff. So another platform for everybody to get a dose of BASS there. The other big news came off the wire yesterday. Big news in the tackle industry and more consolidation taking place via acquisition, where Pradco has acquired Gene LaRue. And what you're seeing, Matthew, is you're seeing really 3 primary players in the tackle business.
Pure Fishing.
Striking.
Yep.
And
Pradco.
Yep. Now, granted, folks, don't send me a whole lot of mail on this. I get it. There are a lot of what I call micro tackle companies out there that make awesome, incredible stuff. They have a niche market. But now what we're seeing, this is like the 3rd or 4th purchase that Pradco has made of a company here recently.
Did they get War Eagle?
Yeah. Yeah, continuing to build the brand. And the thing about Gene LaRue, and a lot of people may not realize this, but the ownership actually owned, Bobby Garland.
Well, maybe
for all the crappie tackle.
Maybe the new owners will really like your bug season ad that you've been running, and they'll be like, "We need that guy on our marketing staff."
I know, but bug season's almost over.
Double what you're paying you to do. Bug season ads for Booyah.
I kind of like that, man. I thought it was kind of creative with what I got.
Oh, it's creative.
That's what I try to do. So, big news on that. It'll be interesting to see what Pradco does with the brand, how they try to continue to build the brand and promote the brand. And the other thing is, it's kind of interesting from a business perspective, Matthew. They have a pretty strong soft plastics line already.
Absolutely.
In Yum. So
yeah.
now, what are they going to do with this?
I would assume they would have the Biffle bug.
Pretty good idea.
I'm not so sure about the Biffalo anymore.
Yeah. It's just going to be really interesting to see. They bought War Eagle. What did they have? They had a pretty successful spinnerbait line.
Well, they did. They
and
still
Booyah.
have Booyah. They just came out with Jason Christie's top secret.
Yeah.
Which it's like the Hildenbrandt blades
I
and
know.
the orange heads. I mean, I was looking at them and I'm like, oh, that's a good spinnerbait.
I know. So I'm really, really curious to see how that whole thing's going to play out. And then the other thing that's taking place this week is the Open on Oneida Lake. See, I said it right.
Mm-hmm.
Oneida Lake. And are you looking at the field?
That's what I'm doing. It's a
up?
very strong field. A lot of FLW guys I see. Bradley Dortch. If I leave your name out, don't get offended. I'm literally scrolling through 250 people here. Kota Kiriyama, David Kilgore, Jamie Hartman, John Cox. There's a bunch of good Jesse Tacarante.
You see any MLF guys on there? I'm just curious.
That's what I'm looking for. I mean, the thing is, a lot of the Elite Series guys were up there already.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of guys out there on the East Coast that live out there with the Is
FLW Hartman fishing it?
Yeah, Jamie Hartman's fishing it. Jonathan Carter, he's made the Classic before. Chad Pipkins, Josh Douglas, Jim Moyna.
Huh.
Let's get an Alvin Shaw mention in two shows in a row, Mark. How about that? Brian
Nice.
Schmidt, Jamie Caldwell, Pete Glusick of...
Yeah. I was kind of curious whether Ike was fishing it. You see him?
He is not.
Huh. All right.
Yeah, there's a bunch of guys. There's 2 Australians. Dean Sylvester, he's been there for like a month and a half. He had to apply for New York residency. He said he ran out of lures because of pike.
Well, yeah, that does happen.
Carl's fishing it. Yeah, a bunch of familiar names. Gary Klaus. A lot of the Elite Series anglers fishing it before.
That makes sense.
Before they head over to...
That's a long drive to Fort Gibson. Long drive to Fort Gibson. All right. A couple other things, and then we'll take a break and come back with Mr. Justin Lucas. I want to mention this real quick, Matthew, and we could talk about this just for a few minutes. A lot of feedback I received personally via the website and via email. There's a lot of feedback yesterday on the YouTube channel that we have based upon the interview with Boyd Duckett, and there was one particular post on there that, we have thousands of people that download this show and watch this show, and there's one post out of all the posts. No, they can read it. It's on the YouTube channel. You don't have to read it.
Okay.
But mainly it was addressing a viewer that felt that, why don't you go ahead and read it? Can you pull it up?
Yeah.
That way I don't have to paraphrase.
It's from Artix, ARTX.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Code for something, I guess.
How about BTL start off with the sponsor dollar disclosure by publicly stating how much they take in advertising money from Duckett Fishing? Then we can ask if that's why they don't pin him down and let him evade answers.
All right, there you have it. I'm going to say this and move on. All right. We have done this show for a long, long time. People have heard me talk about going back all the way to the XM radio days. I think we do a very, very good job at leaving what takes place from a business standpoint, from this company standpoint. We leave that at the door. We ask good questions. We ask questions that I think are tough questions. We're not the one that answers them. And I think we go above and beyond to voice our thoughts and voice our opinions, be it whoever is involved with us from a business standpoint. And really what it comes down to, Matthew, is compromising the integrity of what we do. And I think we are far, far from doing that. I felt that we asked Boyd some very difficult questions, and he chose to answer those questions in a certain way. What we do from a business standpoint, as far as companies that are involved with this show, bottom line, companies are involved with this show for a reason. And I think the reason that they are involved with it is because of the platform that we focus our opinions and give the anglers an opportunity to showcase what they do. In this particular show, we have given Boyd multiple times to voice his thoughts and his opinions.
And he does it.
And he does it.
Very well,
now,
too. He doesn't have to come on.
We're not answering the questions, all right? And I want everybody to know out there, we're not forcing him to be on this show. He is on this show because we asked him to be on this show, and we felt it was the right thing to do because of the platform that we have in BTL.
And he also doesn't know what the hell he's getting asked.
Exactly.
It's not like...
All right, and I don't know if people out there have realized over the years with this show, some of the people that we have on, you and I both don't agree with some of the things that are said. We may counter a statement or a question related to maybe our opinion, but we don't sit here and pound our guests if we don't agree with what they say.
And that goes for any tour.
It goes for any guest.
And any guest.
Yes. That is not how we roll. All right. And I know that there are guys out there in the mainstream media covering sports and, politics and everything that goes on in the world, that if they're not satisfied based upon their opinion, they continue to drive their point and just continue to drill whoever their guest is. That's not how we roll. Mm-hmm. All right, we provide a platform to where people can voice their thoughts, answer the questions that we have. Even if we don't agree with what they say, no matter who the guest is, we're going to move on. It's up to the fans, it's up to the sponsors, it's up to the other anglers to base their opinion on what that guest says, what we say. All right?
I got it. And when it comes to, promoting the sponsor stuff, the stuff that it allows me to be here every day, and I think we're pretty good at that. Outside of every once in a while, I'll promote AFCO, like that. The latest episode of the AFCO Bass Boot Camp just dropped on AFCO last week. That covers the Classic, or that covers ICAST and media events, and you can go to the AFCO YouTube channel and watch it. Just
minor
stuff like that.
Yeah,
might wear an AFCO shirt or hat.
I am extremely very funny. I am totally extremely cognizant,
passionate
about the shameless plug.
Yeah.
All right. That is not what we're about. That is not what we're about. And we don't force feed anything down any of our fans' throats. And we leave it up to the fans, the sponsors, and the anglers to really determine their opinion based upon the interviews that we do. That's the beauty of this show. And there were a lot of questions on yesterday's show that came through from the fans. Were some of the questions that the fans asked on my list of questions right here? Absolutely. But base your thoughts and base your opinions, not because of the business relationship, but of the actual interview that takes place. So
there you go. Right. If you notice, I've been on my phone over here. Justin Lucas has informed us that he has Skype capabilities on the water. I don't know if you can dial that up during the commercial break, or are we'll try. Tethered to the telephone for this interview?
We'll try. All right, we'll try doing Skype. If not, it'll just be a phone call. So, hey, I greatly appreciate everybody's feedback, all the engagement that we're having with our fans and the viewers. And please keep it coming. I read every single one, and I try to respond to every single one in a somewhat timely manner with everything that we have going on. All right, last thing I want to say real quick, and then we'll take a break and come back with Justin. All right. Have you seen any of the photos from the body issue from ESPN, the magazine?
No.
Not one.
No.
Very obscure, kind of non-mainstream athletes are in
John Cruz
part of this.
John Cruz in it.
Well, that's what I was thinking. All right. How cool would it be if somebody from, I don't care what tour it is.
It'd have to be John Cruz.
You think it would be John Cruz?
The guy just did a 14-minute ab video that he posted. He just back and biceps. It's like, hey, here's how to fish the Little John.
With no jersey on?
He lifts up his shirt and shit. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he's like, here's how to fish the Little John. Here's how to fish a tomahawk. Here's how to get shredded.
How good do you think that would be for the game if ESPN contacted, say, John Cruz and said, hey, dude, we're going to put you in the body issue? And, oh, by the way, some of the photos, I just kind of shake my head and go,
you just have strategically placed Spro Frog or something? How does that work?
Well, hopefully it's, what's the big frog called?
The King Daddy? Moving on. Yeah, no.
Anyway, that would be cool.
I mean, let's be honest, Mark. There's not many candidates that would qualify for the body issue in bass fishing.
It's nothing against the players of the game. It's just, yes, I think there are maybe a couple of guys out there that I think it would be cool for the sport to be able to get that exposure. And maybe one of the organizations out there might posture the possibility of next year when the body issue comes out that the King Daddy Frog is on there or something. I don't know.
Good God. Come on.
You got, who was that doing the Atlas celebration?
Guess what I did last night?
Hartman did that.
Guess what I did last night?
Rojas did that.
Guess what I did last night?
What'd you do?
Took out the links.
We're going to hear about that. All right. We'll talk about that after we have Lucas on. Anything else, man?
No.
How many times, I will say this, how many times have you ever been on a lake in Oklahoma that is glass?
Last night was one of the first, and it was glass, and there was nobody on the lake. There was one pontoon boat on the lake. I mean, glass. You could see her flight. It was a religious experience.
All right. We'll find out about it toward the end of the show. All right, everybody, thank you for being a part of this show once again. We'll be right back with Justin Lucas. Everybody stay tuned.
Sleek new design with easy control file. The clearest images underwater with uncompromising range. Live mapping from the touchscreen. View notifications, video, even Google Maps on screen. And for the first time ever, real-time view of fish movements with live sight sonar. HDS Live. New from Lowrance.
Gamagat's the G Finesse series.
In my opinion, the G Finesse series is the only lineup of hooks you need for any fishing you do.
But I know a lot of guys haven't used this hook yet. G Finesse series has the nano coat on the hooks. The nano coating makes the hooks sharper, smoother for a better hookup ratio.
20% stronger than black nickel. Wow, that is incredible. That's a lot of strength.
My Gamakatsu G Finesse series, perfect finesse fishing for you.
Check out the G Finesse series of hooks by Gamakatsu.
Guys, Gerald Swindle, Sunline Pro Staff. If you're a flipper, a slackline hook setter, you're really putting a lot of impact into your hook set, look for the shooter. It comes off the smooth, really smooth. Like when you're flipping, it is smooth. If you're gonna be drop shotting and cranking, Sniper's the deal, man. It seems like it's a little bit less likely, like on a sharp hook set, it doesn't seem like it likes it as much. But for coming off the spool on spinning rod, leaders, cranking, like if I'm gonna throw a big plug at Guntersville, I've still got strong tensile strength. It's not gonna give out on me, but yet the line's thin enough it'll get down. So to me, shooter takes a hook set, Sniper's for everything else. So if you're gonna slack line them, go shooter.
The name SPRO says it all. SPRO stands for Sports Professionals. When you look at the pro staff that SPRO has brought on board over the past 15 years, it's been pretty incredible. I mean, one got it just then. From the development of the rock crawler to the McStick, from the Fat Papa to the Little John series, when you tie a SPRO bait on, you know it's been designed by a professional to get the job done.
Blue Water by TH Marine, offering LED lighting solutions for your boat, trailer, truck, ATV, and so much more. Engineered and built to be rugged with waterproof and submersible options. Designed for easy installation, Blue Water is available in a variety of colors and styles. All backed by a limited lifetime warranty. Blue Water by TH Marine.
At Duckett Fishing, we have assembled the top pros in the country to help us design rods to give you a competitive advantage.
Castability, strength, durability, action, sensitivity, weight and balance, and consistency.
Combine that with the best warranty in the industry, and you have rods that are pro-driven.
Duckett Fishing, pro-driven.
Hey guys, Cliff Perch here with AFCO. I've got the new Camo Hooded Reaper. It's going to be a great thing both for fishing and hunting this fall. I can tell you a couple of the features about it. Got the face mask like all the Reapers do, vented in front. It's got the fleece on the inside, so it's really comfortable. It's super warm. When you come down to the pocket, it's got this little snap system called Block Tapey, and it's silent. You know, it doesn't make that sound that other snaps and other systems that hook it together make. Great for hunting, and it's going to keep that stuff in your pocket.
I got my power pole down, stuck in the mud in the bottom of the lake, sitting so still in the wind and the waves, could even be a hurricane. I got my power pole down.
All right, we are back on a Thursday, closing out the week here on BTL. And, hey, what was the number on the field? Do you remember how many people are in the field?
I think it's it looked like a pretty full field.
What is that?
Like 200, 250?
Wow.
I don't know. You know what I am? I'm an influencer.
What do you mean?
Well, I mentioned that Justin Lucas has a YouTube channel, and since I mentioned it, he's gained 2 followers. Just saying, Justin.
That's a
Just
good thing.
saying.
That's a good thing. Do you need to be his agent? We talked about agents this week. Do you need to be his YouTube agent?
Oh, I did get a text from, we'll mention him 2 shows in a row, JD Blackburn.
Is he willing to come on?
He said, quote, "I can't believe you mentioned me by name." I said, dude, you're an agent in bass fishing. We would have you come on. We want to hear the nitty gritty. He goes, "Let's do it on a very slow news month." But he didn't say no.
Okay. So. All right. We'll see if we can get that set up. All right. It is time to go to our special guest today. Justin, you there, man?
I'm here just cleaning my graphs. You guys are keeping me from being on the water, so I might as well get something.
Blaming it on us, man.
We couldn't. Who lives in Hawk's old house now? You have new neighbors, right?
Yeah, it's actually, what's crazy is Kevin Hawk moved back to Southern California, and then the guy that moved there, he retired from Southern California and moved out here.
Is he a bass fisherman too?
Actually, he is, man. Like he's an older guy, probably like 70. And he is a bass fisherman. Yesterday, he was showing me pictures of all his big smallies he used to catch up in Ohio.
Huh.
There you go.
Very cool. Well, man, it sounds like you're having a busy, somewhat off-season, kind of semi-off-season, by launching this YouTube site.
Channel. Get with the times, Mark.
Oh, okay,
it's
I'm
a
sorry.
YouTube channel. It's a website. It's a YouTube channel.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's
Dude,
my bad.
I'm just, this year we had a lot of off time because this whole tournament, Bass Pro Tour circuit, got put together so last minute last year that, our season kind of ended earlier than it normally does, and gave me some time. And it's something I've been knowing I needed to do for a while. I've just been reluctant to do it because I wanted to make sure that I knew what I was doing before I started putting videos out there. I'm OCD, man. If I put something out, it's got to be good. I can't have bad stuff out there. And I finally got to the point where I think the quality of our stuff is good enough. Not Mark Jeffries quality, but
there's not enough rock music.
So
not enough heavy metal rock music.
Yeah. Are you doing the editing yourself?
I am, man. Yeah, I basically put myself what I would call through YouTube University, and watched tons of tutorials. Reading a bunch of different websites and stuff too mixed in. But yeah, I learned how to do all that myself. And I mean, if you watch my videos, it doesn't look like much, but if you've ever edited or shot a video, you know how hard it is to get good audio and then being able to cut the scenes and make everything flow correctly.
So what is going to be the short-term and long-term objective with the channel?
Honestly, I'm just doing it just to have fun. That and to keep, a couple sponsors happy that they didn't ask for it, but I know that they were needing it. And so, I just wanted to be ahead of the curve before they asked me to do it. Just go ahead and get on with it. But just to have fun, and teach people some stuff too, because there's a lot of bad information out there on YouTube. I go through and watch some of these videos and I'm like, no offense, I will not name a name, but I'm like, who are these guys and where does their credibility come
about
from?
Me and my
no, I'm not talking about
stuff.
You, Matt, but
he's like, God, he did that in Acosta? Unbelievable.
Yeah.
What a hack.
I mean, that's what I love about fishing is everybody's got their own unique way, but there's some basics that need to be taught, the right way. And I'm just I just don't want to BS anybody. I'm kind of tired and, sick, just like everybody else is, of the old, some of the old marketing schemes of, just everything being, so in your face and this is what you got to buy, blah, blah, blah. I don't care what anybody buys. I want them to know that, I drop shot with a 7-foot medium rod because of this reason, and you can go buy whatever 7-foot medium rod you want. I personally love Abu, so that's all I use. But you'll see that. I just want it to be no BS, having fun, chasing a good bite, and teaching people a few things along the way.
So every week, you'll have in theory 52 videos by the end of your first year, because there's a big bold thing that says new video every week from Justin Lucas.
I got a little confident there and changed that a couple days ago. So we'll see. That's the goal. I figured if I changed it, then I'd have to keep myself up to it. We might miss a week here or there, but certainly, I'm doing it with a friend too. One of my closest friends here in Alabama. He's got a lot of time off. He's got a great job where he gets a lot of paid time off. And, he wants to start traveling outside of Alabama and fishing. So it's kind of cool that you have a pro's point of view, and you're also going to get Devin's point of view in a lot of these videos of just a weekend fisherman, fishing some of these bodies of water for the very first time. And we do a lot of kayak. We do a lot of kayak fishing together too. And that, there's going to be several kayak videos in there as well. But number one rule is to have fun. If we're not having fun doing it, I'll stop it immediately.
Full disclosure, I called Lucas and I was like, can't believe you're just shamelessly plugging these kayaks. You don't really... you legitimately like kayak fishing, and I guess after watching the first video, I saw it, but that's a thing that's your getaway.
Dude, I get $0 to kayak fish. No kayak company pays me any money. I got one kayak for free that's a $1,200 kayak a couple of years ago now. And yeah, I just love doing it, dude. So, when it's, you guys know how it is in the summertime when it's hot as crap out, and I can go get in a shaded river and the water temp's 73 degrees and get 40 bites a day. That's pretty good. You know, like, I don't want to promote it too much to the point that everybody's doing it, but pretty darn good.
So this is one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on, because it seems like there's been an interesting shift, that started, we saw Hunter Shryock, Jacob Wheeler, Brandon Polinick, a big portion, I would say, of their fan base, kind of their persona, lives on YouTube with what they do. Obviously, Scott Martin, and then you've got guys like David Dudley who are getting into the game, a lot of these guys. Where do you think the YouTube world lives as far as the professional angler? Is it a trend? Is it a niche? Is it something that you will see everybody or more guys transitioning to in the future? Like, what is the status of the professional angler on YouTube, in your opinion?
You're going to see, more and more guys doing it for sure. Video's not going away. And the number one thing of it is, you're creating your own content. So when sponsors ask, hey, what are you doing for us? You can be like, well, I'm doing all this and I'm getting this amount of views and, all of that. I've even got, links to products on Tackle Warehouse, and I can see how many people go through those links. It doesn't matter to me whether you do or not, but if you do, I can keep track of it and then I can show those to sponsors. So, it's here to stay. The big thing behind it is just creating your own content, because, you can't rely on a magazine or, somebody to call you and be like, hey, let's do an article. And that only goes so far. You create a video here and it lives forever.
One of the things you may not realize, Matt and Justin, I don't know if you know this or not, but so many of the cable companies and satellite companies are now integrating to where you can actually watch and search YouTube directly through your cable provider service or your
you go to
Dish
menu and
network
there's a
or
little
whatever.
YouTube logo.
Yeah. Have you thought about the fact that, yes, so many people across America are so-called cutting the cord, but this platform and this arena is somewhat untapped from a standpoint of tying it into what people are used to doing, which is watching TV.
Yeah, I don't know. I probably need to have a conversation with you about that, Jeffrey. So, it's all new to me. Like I said, man, I've learned how to shoot and edit over the past 4 months. And right now that's about all I know how to do. And, what you're talking about sounds like more work. Maybe something I'd be interested in is exploring that. But for now, I just really want to have fun with it. But it's not going away. And what you're talking about is probably going to be, moving in next.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. The cable provider that I have, it is so easy and it loads up so quick. All right, Jared in Wisconsin wants to know, do you plan on fishing any kayak tournaments?
Negative. I don't think I ever will, and that's nothing against kayak fishermen or kayak tournaments, but I do it strictly for fun, and I think I wouldn't enjoy it as much if I had to go practice and find fish and all of that. I get to do that plenty in this little rig right here, so it's all for fun for me, man. I just really, really enjoy it. In the summertime, I don't do it much when it's cold because I can get my boat and go catch bigger fish, and for the most part of my boat, but yeah, not really interested. I've had a lot of people ask me that over the past couple of months too, all the kayak stuff I've posted, but Dave Lefebvre can have that.
He's won 10 grand doing that.
Yeah. All right,
Good
let me ask
for him.
Yeah, let me ask you this. What has been the best day that you've had or the most memorable day in that kayak?
Honestly, to this point, probably the first YouTube video I put out. That was the kayak video, just because I think I had probably around 13 pounds that day. And we do mostly small creeks and rivers. So 13 pounds is a good bag. That's not, most of the time we catch 10 to 12 pounds. So that was a new river, which we had never been on. And it was really good. We haven't been back since, but dude, it's just I got one of the best topwater bites I've ever had in my life in that video on a buzzbait. And it honestly looks like if I just showed you, hey, Jeffrey, look at this clip, you didn't know it was a bass blowing up on that buzzbait. You would have thought I was in the Amazon and it was a peacock bass blowing up on it, dude. So that's exciting stuff.
Wow.
It's if you click on the video, it is in a top secret location, Mark.
It is. I'm not telling anybody where that's at.
Borderline clickbait, Lucas.
Wow.
Borderline clickbait.
No.
Top secret, obstacles, best day ever.
I'm not telling anybody for the most part where I'm going. You know, if people figure it out on their own, good for them. But I don't want to blow places up. You know, where we went for that smallmouth video, that is, we never saw a bass boat in 3 days. So, you know, my goal is to search out those places, fish them, and not give them up. You know, number one, I want to go back and catch them again. And number two, for the local guys that do fish there, I've already had a couple guys message me. They knew where I was in that smallmouth video, and they're like, hey, thank you very much for not saying anything, because it is really good out here, and we don't need it being blown up. We all know what happens when a lake gets ranked number one on a fishing list. So I'm not going to be, you know, mentioning where I'm at for the most part, unless they figure it out.
All right, one more question, Matt, real quick. And now, since you're getting into the video, do you ever, or have you ever, watched your video or your performance in any league, any time, and actually kind of critique yourself or actually learn something from the video that you've done?
Gosh, I've watched, you know, the couple tournaments I've won, those elite tournaments, and maybe some other stuff on TV. I've seen a couple bad hook sets, yeah, but other than that, you know, there's not much else I can really do. Most of it's mentally, you know, remembering what happened and switching up from that. But just bad hook sets, you know, when I see myself set the hook and I'm out of position, I just shake my head when I'm watching it.
Are you going to be coming out with tournament videos from the upcoming cups that you qualified for, from the BPT next year?
I don't know. That's a good question. You know, like I said, I want to do it for fun, and that almost seems like, you know, it'd be mixing in a little too much, a little more work than I probably want on those tournament days. So, you know, Paul does a great job, Wheeler does a great job, but they both have guys filming all that stuff for them. So it's really hard, and Scott Martin too, really hard to go out there and film that stuff yourself and fish the tournament and then worry about editing it and all of that. So yeah, I probably won't venture into it, but that's not to say that's not 100%.
From a business perspective, again, how many guys out there do you think have like a YouTube clause in their contracts? And is that something that you think is viable? I mean, I know you're saying you're doing this for fun, but let's be honest. You got a baby.
No,
you're busy as hell. You got tons of sponsors. You're fishing 15 weeks out of the year. There's a component to this where it's increasing your value as an angler and your reach as an angler for the companies that you represent.
100%. But it's a lot of work. So if I didn't enjoy the fishing, or if I was forcing videos, you know, that's when I'm not even going to put a bad video out in my mind, because if I'm not enjoying it that day, it's not worth watching, and I don't want to edit it. So it's a mixture of both. You know, it's definitely, like I said, I'm doing it because I knew that I would be asked to at some point. This isn't going away. So I just kind of try to get on, you know, ahead of it. And honestly, I mean, there's just not many guys out there that are going to put in the time to learn how to edit. If you want to pay somebody, I mean, I know those guys are dropping some coin on those dudes to edit those videos. But, you know, like me, I'm just like, hey, I studied for about 3 or 4 months, edited 3 or 4 videos that probably they'll never come out because it was just practice. But, you know, it was all good learning curve for me, because now I'm confident. You know, I've got everything. I'm going to go out there today and I can set up my cameras, and you know, and I got them all in that backpack right there. I can set them up, go film, and do my thing.
In all reality, because this is the first year that I've filmed myself too. So you've got, and just for the people who don't watch, they watch the 11-minute 44-second video.
Yep.
So that's filmed over the day. What would you look at that? Justin Lucas has fans. Soccer moms honking the horns, wanting autographs.
No, that's my other 77-year-old neighbor.
But you're probably, and unless I'm just a really crappy editor and very bad at time management, you're probably at least 10 hours in just on that video as far as editing.
Which one?
Either one of them.
Dude, honestly, no. As far as editing goes, like once I get home, I can do them in like under 4 hours now.
Okay.
Wow.
But still, I mean,
yeah,
that's
and
half
that
a
was the
work day.
thing. Like, I had to learn how to do it
Mm-hmm.
quickly, or it becomes like, I got a kid, man. I got to be able to put him to bed, stay up, put him to bed at 7:30, stay up till midnight that night, and knock out a video. And then I'm done for that video for the week, or, do it a couple nights in a row and get a couple weeks worth. But yeah, I had to be able to be fast at it. And that's why I practiced with 3 or 4 videos before I put them out there, because there was no way I was going to do it if it was going to take me 8 or 10 hours to edit a video.
Yeah,
no way.
You're already up to 1,232 just from this interview. I mean, you're picking.
How about that?
You're picking them up by the second, Lucas. You're going to be an influencer.
If they go watch those videos, like I put them out there. I'm confident that if you watch those videos, they're fun. Now they don't have, I'm learning as I go to incorporate more tips and things that people really want to hear. But they're fun to watch, no doubt. We catch good fish in them, and Devin and I have a good time. But we'll incorporate more tips as we get used to doing this. And hey, I'm learning as I go, so don't critique me too hard. But so far,
it's good. It's good stuff.
Yeah, the response has been really good so far.
Cool. All right, I want to go to the instant feedback. David in Wisconsin wants to know what Phoenix you're going to be running in 2020.
100% 921 again. 921 Pro XP. I just love this boat. I know they came out with the new Elite, but this is the boat that I've fished the best out of. I ran the PHX one year, and I've always said I'm not superstitious, but I didn't do good that year, so I'm gonna stick with this boat as long as they make it.
I hear that. Okay, explain that to the average guy. You get these guys. You guys get a boat every year. Now, you don't always get them. A lot of guys pay for them. They have to start making payments on them at the end of the year, and then they get their new boat, and then they rig their new boat. But here's what I hear the guys say: "Man, that boat back in 2011, or man, I had one in 97, or that my last year's boat, it was just a fish catching boat." Like, what does that mean to the average guy? I mean, a boat's a boat, but there's like certain boats that you guys who fished for years has like just crazy mojo that you can't explain, right?
No, dude. My thing is, I didn't have a good year. The one year I switched to a different model, and so I'm just a little superstitious on that. Like, I might as well just stick with the model that I've done the best in. So, and I like it the best. Well, honestly, the big thing, since I'm on here, is I like having 2 center boxes on the front deck. That's the biggest thing. And this boat is a little bit shorter and just a hair narrower than the PHX. So I like a 21-foot boat, all about comfort over here, not speed. And I get my 70 to 72 miles an hour and just fine.
All right, Brian from Lake Norman wants to know, how has Guntersville been lately? What's the status? How has the summer been at Guntersville?
Well, I'm going to go out there and find out. I honestly haven't been like in a month or 2 months out there, but I think it's been okay. It's not, typically, man, August and September at Guntersville those are the 2 worst months to fish here. So I'm going to go out there today, plan on frogging and flipping. Just kind of got that in my blood right now that I need to go get bit doing that. But I think this fall it'll pick back up. This spring was pretty darn good. It was one of the better springs we've had. I went out there and caught like 27 pounds a couple days. So yeah, I think the lake is on the upward trend right now, and this next spring should be even better.
Matt in Alabama wants to know, this year with the first year of the MLF BPT, how much do you think what you're doing now and what you've done this year has impacted your brand? Is this YouTube thing going to have a huge impact on your brand, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know about that. I guess, the brand on there isn't any different than my brand on Instagram or Facebook or who I am every single day. So, it's just going to be an addition or another leg to what, I'm already doing. But I think the Major League Fishing thing, again, what I'll say is for the first year, I'm amazed that they pulled it off and it went as well as they did for the first year. To be honest, I expect next year to be really good. And, we'll go from there. It took me half the year just to get used to how I need to practice and approach fishing those tournaments. That's why the second half of my year I did really well. I made the last 2 cups coming up, so my year's not over. But I'm really looking forward to next year now that I feel like I've figured out the strategy and game plan that needs to go behind finding fish for those tournaments.
All right, Brad in East Tennessee wants to know, other than because it catches fish, what is your take on the Ned rig rocketing to the top of the market so quickly?
It just gets big. I mean, really, he's saying that's why it did, you know, other than catching fish, but that's all it does is catch fish. I caught a lot of fish this year at Chickamauga in our tournament on the Ned rig, and nice ones. I had one day, my best 5 would have gone like 22 pounds, and I think I finished 3rd or 4th that day. So all on a Ned rig. So yeah, it works. It kills them all the way from St. Lawrence River, you know, down. As long as there's hard bottom, you're good. Gravel, anything like that. So killer technique.
I just realized Lucas has his kayak wrapped the same design as his bass boat.
No, it's not wrapped, dude. It was made that way.
It's a save. Yeah, he's just next level. So social media.
That's cool,
then,
dude. You don't like it?
No, it's cool. I said it's next level. So so you've got like 105,000 followers on Instagram and whatever on Facebook and all these social media platforms and stuff. Do you like plan out what the hell gets posted on that? Like, I mean, you've got a blue check mark next to your name. Like, how do you decide what goes out to the masses?
Just whatever I'm doing that day. If I think it's picture worthy, you know, I'll put it up there. So whether I'm cooking on the Traeger, which I love to do, you know, I do that. Matt, I talked to you about it. Pizzas on there have changed my life.
Oh, it's so good.
But yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, if it's something that I would want to see on social media, then I post it. You know, there's a couple things I have to obligatory things, I guess, obligations that I have to fulfill with sponsors. But I try to keep that at a minimum, man. I try to, you know, let sponsors know in my contracts, like, I don't want, you know, certain amounts of stuff to be required by me. Just let me go do my thing, and, you know, you're gonna get your product seen if I like it. So,
having dabbled in it now with the YouTube, with all your social media stuff, is it impressive to you all that Scott Martin is able to do and still fish at such a high level?
Heck yeah. But again, he's got a guy filming and editing everything. I personally just don't want a camera in my face for all that time. Like, I would rather just put the camera in my face when I want. And the problem that I have with, you know, myself, if I was to do that, is I feel like once you start that, you can't stop it. And, you know, that to me is something that is why people are like, hey, why don't you have somebody following you around on camera? Because, you know, if I stop it, it's going to hurt me. I would feel like down the road, and I'd have to keep it up on my end anyway. So why not just start by keeping it up on my end? And if I can do a good enough job doing that, that'll be sufficient enough for me. Hey, I'm not out here to try. I'm not trying to make $1 million. I moved it. No, I you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to make $1 million a year. I want to be, I got into fishing because I love tournament fishing. I'm making a comfortable living. You know, I don't live on the lake. A lot of guys live on the lake here at Guntersville. I don't live on the lake. I got a nice, comfortable mortgage, live where I do, man. And I'm not trying to make a bunch of money. Like, if I can just make a good living and provide for my family, it's good enough. So you're not ever going to see me go over the top.
You just sound like a Western Mutual ad or something.
Whatever, man.
Jeez. All right. I think I am correct on this. You have 1 cup event remaining.
2.
One or two? You have 2 cups. Okay. After that, is there anything that you specifically have committed to work on your game that you feel that you need to get better at during this time off?
No, man. I'm just chasing good bites, you know, to film stuff. And if I'm going to a lake that's supposed to be legit, and new lakes too. I mean, I guess that is something that'll help me, as a lot of the places Devin and I are going to go are going to be new bodies of water and trying to figure it out. You know, that's what's fun. That's what's exciting. It's not exciting really for me to go out to Guntersville when I've fished there so many times and go catch them, you know, 20 pounds. It's like, okay, well, I've done that a bunch here. It used to be a lot better. So it's just hard to get excited about that. But, you know, in that smallmouth video and that kayak video, those are new bodies of water we've never been on. You really don't know what to expect. Like, when you go blast them, it's like blasting them on a tournament day, man. It's fun. So I think it's just going to naturally help me go into some new bodies of water to film that stuff.
1,236.
Jeez, Matt. I'm gonna have to owe you something, bro.
That's
you
you
got me 10 subs.
That's worth a Chapo.
That's a power of Matthew
Chapo.
right there. That's the power of
That's
Matt.
worth a Chapo. I'm trying to find this damn Chapo that I can't find it in the size that I want.
What size do you want?
The bigger one.
120.
Yeah, the 120.
Well, let me know what you need there, buddy.
Oh, there you have it. Jeez, cutting deals live on the show. All right.
Jeffrey, you can go to tacklewarehouse.com.
I think this interview is over. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll send you a link.
That's funny. That's pretty
What are you
see where
filming
I
with?
rank.
You just straight up just a GoPro.
That's all I'm using is a GoPro. I'm not about to drop a G on. I dropped some money on my computers to be able to edit. That was Jeffries. You would have been proud of me just learning how much RAM and memory and processor and all that stuff, dude. Because you can't just go to Best Buy and buy a computer that's going to work for what I'm trying to do. So that took me several days, probably a couple of weeks watching videos and stuff just to learn what I needed to buy.
Now you can play World of Warcraft too without any glitches.
Not interested, bro.
Gets the gaming computers. Those are the ones that are the best ones that have the best systems on it, right? The gaming
you need
computers.
32 gigs of RAM for those things, and I only got 16, so I'm out.
There you have it. See, he's got the lingo down. He's dialed in, man.
I am.
You running that on 60 frames per second, 5-minute loop or continuous?
I like running it in Pro Tune.
Okay.
Because I've got mics hooked up, and that's the only way you can hook up external mics. And I like running it just straight off the battery because I can get like an hour and 42 minutes on 1080/30 off the battery.
Wow.
So I don't have cords everywhere, and I can just switch a battery out a few times a day.
Shooting in linear?
For point of view stuff, you want to shoot in linear, and then chesty out, you want to shoot in super view or wide angle to give people a better view of what you're looking at.
He's dialed in,
Look
man.
at that, Mark. Wow.
I got you, bro. I got you.
He is dialed in. All right, man. We're going to let you get out of here and go have some fun on Guntersville.
Hey, you know what? Let me say one last thing. Jeffries, as much crap as I like to give you, I always appreciate you having me on, buddy.
All right, man.
So, thank you.
All right. It's all good. We'll have you on again, man. Good luck in the next 2 cups.
Text to what you need. Thank you.
All right.
Thank
See
you.
ya.
All right, man. See ya.
See you guys.
All right. There you have it. Justin Lucas.
It's interesting. It's a shift because there's another guy who lives just down the road who also kicked off a YouTube channel.
Who was that?
Jordan Lee.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And I called Lucas and I said, that's what I said. I said, what, Berkeley, you'd pure fishing call and say, hey, it's time. And he goes, no, dude. He goes, we decided it was time.
Yeah.
But the most interesting thing that I think he said there, which is totally valid, is once you start, you can't stop.
Yeah. You have to commit to it. It is a commitment. And it's not short term either.
And it's interesting what he's willing to make sacrifices with as far as his time and the timing of the year and what he's not. And what other anglers have been able to work around. I remember when all this started and everyone first came in, it was that first kind of wave of college anglers. Matt Lee was the first. I did this thing when we had the college bass zone way back there in 2013, 2014 about his GoPro and how it works. And I remember you would sit here during the Bass Talk Lives and say, there's no way. Remember when Polinick said he was going to have someone follow him?
Yeah.
You said there is no way that you will be able to focus on bass fishing and take care of the business at hand with a camera.
On this show, I said that.
I mean, you said that he was going to have a bad season because he was going to focus more on filming than that. And I feel like that dynamic has completely shifted to now. We just interviewed Justin Lucas where he's like, has to defend why he doesn't.
Yeah. Hey, man, it's just part of it now. It is part of the game. It really is.
And you look at what Paul Mueller's doing over that. I mean, do I know anything about do-it molds and rain bubble worms? I do now because of Paul Mueller. Just because of 1 little minute interviews that he does on Instagram and stuff.
Yeah. All right. I wish we had more time with him. There are several questions on the instant feedback. We'll try and get him on once again after the 2 cup events and get to more of these questions that are on the instant feedback. So I apologize for that. Next week, man, here's what we're going to try and do. I'm actually going to try and get our agent friend on. I'm going to see if we can get him on. And then
JD?
I'm going to see if we can get JD on. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try and see if we can get...
he said it's not as exciting as you want to make it out to be.
Well, I think...
He said it's really not exciting.
People want to know, I think. I think people are interested in what the characteristics are of that business, being that there are so few that have ever even dabbled in trying to be an agent for a professional angler.
And I don't even know if that's what he would classify himself
That's what
as.
he was.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Seriously, he went out and he tried to secure deals and represent.
He still does. I'm not sure.
Specific
he works
anglers
for some different stuff now. It's still on the road. But yeah. Okay, yeah. That's what it is. I don't know if that's just like on his business card, like pro angler agent. I don't know what
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
He's not getting Zeke money. I know that.
I mean, is he like,
factual.
Ex-angler's not launching his boat unless this logo is worth 50,
No.
There's no holdouts. My agent, speak to my agent.
No holdouts. And then I was thinking maybe we could try and get the winner of the Open from Oneida Lake. Try and get them on.
That would be good.
I'm really familiar with that body of water, and I think it'd be cool, especially if it's one of the Elite Series guys that win. When is Fort Gibson? Is that next week?
No, it's like the week after that. Another guy I want to get on, and I talked to him at the Cup, is Ryan Salzman. I was on the World Series of Bass. He got a top 10 at the Cup. He double qualified for it. He also guides in Alabama. Kind of a cool story there. I think he's like I think he might be a military dude too. Came back, but he's making a career out of it too. And I ran into him, and he's like, "Dude, I love the show." And I was like, "You want to be on it?" He's like, "Heck yeah." So I think he'd be a good interview to have on.
And then Austin Felix.
Yeah, he's fishing the Open this week. He'll probably. I mean, he catches them up north, so we could do a 2-1 there. He might win the dang thing.
That would be cool. All right, man. Exciting weekend for you this weekend.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on the boat, which I did take out. I loved it. It was awesome. That new Merc is like, and then you're like running, and you're like, oh, this is smooth. Like the links, like the layout.
Yeah.
I'm doing an overnight trip, a 1-day trip to
where?
Michigan. There's a rodeo in Michigan. The girlfriend needs the money to qualify for that circuit championship.
Are you driving the dually?
It's a dually with a 13-foot living quarters and a 4-horse trailer behind it.
And you're driving
on a dually. On the highway, I will. So we're leaving like late Friday, and we'll be back Sunday morning. I might add it to the AFCO Bass Boot Camp.
You need to film
I haven't done any of these crazy horse trips. It's basically like you're like, ooh, if I fish this tournament, I'll qualify for the championship. So she's driving up there.
A 1-day trip to Michigan for a rodeo?
It's in the middle of Michigan, too. Middle. It's 13 hours.
Do that.
She's going to run for 15 seconds. Then we're going to load the horse back up, because that's how long it takes for him to run, 14 to 16 seconds. Drive all the way back to Oklahoma, and then it is right back into the boat.
All right. You have to video some of that. That's epic. Can't wait to see that stuff. All right, everybody. We will be back on Monday, same time, 8:30 a.m. Make sure that if you're listening to us on iTunes, please review us. Give us a review. Give us a rating. It helps us out tremendously. And as you have done for Mr. Lucas, make sure you subscribe to us.
Holy cow, he's up to 1,241.
That's impressive. Make sure you subscribe.
He's averaging
to Bass Talk Live on YouTube.
A viewer every 10 seconds right now.
That's the power
Watching
of BTL.
A superstar
and
in the making.
Right there. All right, everybody. Have a safe weekend. We will talk to you on Monday. We are out of here.